Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What is going on, listeners? Welcome to the Smacked Raw podcast. We are your one-stop shop for NXT and AEW and WWE recaps and why am I drawing a blank on what we do? We do recaps and we do predictions and we do just about anything we can think of. We have some stuff behind the scenes we're trying to come up with. We're just trying to give you like 8 shows a week because that's how Kyle likes to do it. And you guys listen, so why not? We keep doing it. My name is Rob Rude. You can find me on Twitter at 2 words, can't see me, the letter C. I'm hanging out with my homeboy, Kevin Crazy, my tag team partner. What's going on, Kevin?
Yo, man, just chilling. It's good to be back with you, man. It's been a couple weeks.
Also with us this week, we have a special guest from the Botched Finish podcast. His name is Rob. What is going on, man? Who are you? Where can we find you?
Not a whole lot, actually. I'm happy to get back in the saddle here. My podcast being down during COVID, it's been a little bit of a drag, but being here with you guys gets me a little excited. It was a great show, and I want to, really want to get some wrestling out, to tell you the truth.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
Right on. I can feel that.
Well, you came to the right place.
Yes, we do talk wrestling a lot, especially in our chat room. We talk shit a lot in the chat, and I absolutely love it.
My God.
I've been actually out a couple of weeks. I actually got tested 4 days ago. I thought I was with it, but I wasn't. Test was negative. Well, so here I am. I am very excited to be back.
Hell yeah,
AEW
man.
Dynamite. Oh yeah. Wrestling News World. I'm sorry, guys. We are with them. They feature us on their website, and it's amazing. We've got some views because of them. We're gonna plug our sponsor, Belts by Dan, later on, and that's where we are. I think we're ready to start talking about AEW Dynamite. What's the grade? What do you guys give tonight's show?
You know what? It was better than I thought it was going to be. And mostly because it was like, right after a pay-per-view. And like, I love everything AEW's been doing, frankly. I'm totally an AEW mark, but I went into the show with low expectations. Not that I didn't think I was going to like it, but it blew my expectations out, I feel like.
I think we lost Rob. His video's freezing.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
Well. Oh,
You're
no.
going good. I'm still going good, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a second to see if it picks up.
Oh, man, you got some green screen going on your face.
That's weird. It's a WrestleMania background.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to fix that. Give me a second. My bad.
This is awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting some.
I seriously don't know how I oh wow. Okay. Maybe if I do this and restart.
There's his name, guys. Hit him up.
Jeez. Great start.
Oh, excellent.
Okay. I think we're good now. I hardwired. I forgot to do that before we started. My bad.
Oh man, you're fired. You've been on the show 2 minutes. You're already fired.
Yep.
So I fired Kevin, I fired Vince, and I fired you today. Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah.
AEW Dynamite. Rob, what did you give the show? Kevin told us while you were frozen with the WrestleMania logo on your face.
I don't know, man. It is what it is. It's the first show after a big pay-per-view event. So, we got a lot of fallout. As far as those go, I'd give it probably solid B+. As far as shows go in general, B-. I mean, you just didn't have a lot of action, a couple squash matches. So
one of them was a squash. It wasn't a squash, though. I absolutely hate squash matches. So we'll get into it. Inner Circle starts out our show with they're standing in the back and they got a table full of T-shirts saying Stadium Stampede champions, but it's kind of like the Super Bowl losers. What do you do with, a table full of shirts?
By the way, I want one of those shirts so bad now.
I would buy one. They'll probably end up putting them on the web store. Like, they need to. People would buy them.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're talking about how they only have a couple boxes on the table, and then Santana and Ortiz reveal that they have more than a couple boxes, and they open up a U-Haul truck. There's boxes everywhere. Oh, so we start out with Private Party and Joey Janela versus the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy. And they promo before the match, and they kind of decide what Matt Hardy they want. I don't know the Matt Hardy they came up with. I wasn't around then. When was this guy from?
So I can jump in there. This Matt Hardy would have been directly like after his ECW title run when he wrestled Jeff at WrestleMania. He was a bad guy.
Oh, so this is pretty old Matt Hardy, is what you're saying. Like,
this would have been like 09, maybe a little later. So
okay. So
it's digging pretty deep.
Right on. Well, I was into that. I thought the promo was funny as hell, and I like that they're really playing up like the multiple personalities of Matt Hardy and stuff. I think that's great.
I love the fact that they got an Adam Page plug in there too. I'm going back to the hotel. I got booze. I'm leaving.
Kenny Omega followed him too.
Yes.
That's noteworthy.
He said he's got something. I didn't hear what he said, but he's like, I got something. I'll follow you.
He said he got jugs because he's channeling Kurt Angle and just drinking the milk.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Jesus. That's awesome.
So this match starts out with, Young Bucks Spot Fest. Butcher and Blade were at ringside, and they got donked. I was about to say by the Hardy Boys, by the Young Bucks. Janela, there was a good spot, ended up hung upside down on the ropes in like a trio style and got double super kicked. Party did a double rope front flip, and Quinn may have hurt his knee for real. I don't know if that was X-worthy or not, but I don't know. He looks like he got hurt. Bucks of Youth and Hardy did a flipsy slam to a moonsault to a super kick to another moonsault, and they ended up picking up the win. Butcher and Blade came into the ring, and we thought that this is what we were getting out of this match, but no, this is not what we were getting. What do we have next? I'll let one of you guys give the excitement. What happened? I popped.
Well,
who wants it? Who wants it?
Lead here.
Well, I didn't know who it was at first, man. It was like for a second. No. I hear you. Looking back on it, I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. But at first, I thought it was like SCU because I just saw like a bald head, so I thought it was like Christopher Daniels. You know what I'm saying?
No, and then I agree. It was a really bad camera angle to have him show up in.
It was.
Yeah. But then as soon as I realized, I was like, fuck yeah. I mean, I jumped out of my chair, I was like, we're gonna get this after all this Twitter battling for that long. Thank God,
So go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with him. Although I have a couple thoughts about Matt Hardy in that match, if I may.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
That's why we're here, right? Let's roll.
All right. So just kind of watching that match, it's something that I think's been coming out of Double or Nothing is this, big Matt Hardy push. There's obviously a build coming. He has a really unique gimmick right now, kind of being able to switch in and out of different personalities. Something I always thought they should have done with Mick Foley. Like how badass would it? How awesome would it have been if you didn't know which Mick you were getting that night, right?
Yes.
So, I think it's cool they're doing that. I just wanted to point out that if you watch this match, it is very apparent that they are protecting Matt Hardy. They're making him look very strong. The Bucks took all of the major moves. They were the ones getting all the heat, and Matt Hardy was the one that kind of stepped into that. So I'm just looking for big things for him coming out of this. And then one last thing about FTR. I literally, in my notes, the last line reads, I finally have a tag team to cheer for at AEW. Super.
This guy, Kevin, do you realize what this guy just did here?
I know he totally no-sold the Best Friends, and I don't like that at all.
The Best Friends are the best tag team in the world, and you're not cheering for them? No, on the real, I jumped on the Best Friends bandwagon when they were number 10 and joking around. I'm like, they need a push and they need to get the title. Now all of a sudden they're number 1 contenders, and I'm like, I was joking. Yeah. But
no, I agree. They definitely need the spotlight, but I'm really big on Beretta. Chuck Taylor is solid, but I think I'm a fan of a Beretta singles run. So if that means Best Friends has to be put to the side, I'm okay with that. Like, I think Beretta as a singles guy could go straight to the top.
Valid.
Yeah.
But, you know, as a trio, they can also go straight to the top. I mean, see what they're doing.
Well, they're on their way. You get the Orange Cassidy pops. It's no longer Road Warrior pops. It's Orange Cassidy pops.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right. Yes, sir. He's definitely earned his keep. That's my style. I love my comedy.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Orange Cassidy was my jam at first, but now he's earned it. He's more than just that comedy guy out there wrestling.
Oh, my God.
It's so great.
His entrance at the ladder match at Double or Nothing, that was perfect. That was so, like, I loved every second of that.
It was. He was money for every second he was on the screen. Orange Cassidy, he was money.
Oh, yeah.
He really is. He really is. So following all that awesomeness, we didn't actually fully say it. The Revival showed up, now known as FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. And guys, I mean, if you're listening to us, you're I was going to say a Red Wings fan, go Wings, a wrestling fan. You know that the Revival wasn't shit in WWE. They should have been, but they weren't. Now they're badasses, and I'm so about it because the Revival is great. But I will say it, I love the Uchiha segment. I'll bring it up any chance I get. I'd like the segment.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, now that we got that out, your AEW champion comes out to join commentary. And he's joining commentary for the Brian Cage versus Lee Johnson match. I was sick. I didn't get to do the post show for All In or Double or Nothing. So I didn't get to vent my anger. I don't get mad. Kevin, can you vouch? I don't get mad. I don't.
No.
Brian Cage winning this ladder match pissed me off. It legitimately pissed me off. You shit on your entire roster with this guy winning this ladder match. This guy that done nothing comes out, all of a sudden he gets a title shot. Who the hell is he? What about your MJFs that are frick 30-0 right now? You got your guys out there busting their ass every week, and you care about rankings, and you bring this guy in. Oh, this guy, he's the number one contender now. Who the fuck is this guy? Who the hell is he? At least have him be in there a couple weeks. I had to let that out. I had to let it out.
Sometimes catharsis is good.
He's my next pay-per-view's main event, and I don't know who the hell he is. Get the out of here, man. I hope he gets turf toe. So Brian Cage facing Lee Johnson.
Anyway,
another thing is this guy, he came out of nowhere, and he won the ladder match, and he's number one contender, so you put him in a jobber match against Lee Johnson. Come on. He's already a badass. You don't have to fucking put him in a jobber match. Taz talks to Mox after the match about his grind and how Mox is the top guy. He's given his all and blah, 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 blah. And he mentions that now the main event at Fyter Fest is Cage and Moxley. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'll let you guys chime in. I'm done venting. What do you guys think about this?
Not so much about the fallout of the match, but I thought it was funny on commentary when Mox was like, whoa, he just threw him into the Gulf of Mexico. And then he was like, oh, he just went into the Gulf of Mexico, got him out, and threw him back into the arena. I thought that was hilarious. I fucking totally popped for that.
I miss Chris Jericho on commentary.
Oh, my God, me too. Jesus Christ.
So calling everybody a stupid idiot
is always gold. In fact, we had him twice on the show, so the AEW agrees.
That's good. That's good.
But as far as Cage goes, though, I gotta say, man, most situations and most debuts, I completely agree with you. We need to get used to that character. He needs to get a little bit of momentum behind him. Completely disagree with this one because it was a gimmick match. Because he was a mystery entrant. They didn't know he was coming. It was a match where literally anything could happen. Anyone could climb that ladder and get it. Like that happens. I mean, to just take a look at the other company right now, who saw that guy, winning that ladder match? So
valid. But
that's why I'm cool with it.
The other company doesn't come out and say, we give a shit about rankings. We care that you have to earn your title shot. I've had your argument thrown at me, and I legitimately see it. I really do. But you care about rankings, and then all of a sudden you just completely shit on him. Completely. Make him do this for the TNT title, or just, you know what I'm saying? Just the ladder match is just, I'm the strongest guy in the world. Boom, he comes out, he shits on everybody. Cool. He didn't skyrocket to the top in 20 seconds. That's my problem.
I don't know, man. I don't have a problem with it either. For the same reasons, it's a gimmick match, man. It's pro wrestling. Anything can happen in those matches, and that's kind of part of the fun of it to me. Like, I hear you when it comes to the rankings. I can't, it's kind of the elephant in the room, when you're talking about AEW, honestly, because sometimes they totally make sense, and then sometimes they don't make any fucking sense at all, So it's like, I mean, in this case, I think that the type of the match kind of trumps the rankings, though,
That's valid.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. And just real
Right.
quick, if you're not familiar with Brian Cage's work, the dude is one of the best in the world, and it hasn't gotten his due. He is, for his size, I think he is the most versatile wrestler as far as being able to sneak into like lucha type stuff and all of that. So keep your eyes peeled. You'll be impressed. And while I understand the hesitation with how he debuted, as far as if they were going to give it to anybody, he's a worthy candidate.
I'll boycott if he wins. I'll fickle my ass back to WWE.
Jesus Christ. Nah, not me.
No, I respect it. I just felt everybody got completely shit on. That's my whole problem. And like I said, I don't get mad at things. I'll fucking throw whatever at me. I don't really care. When people are mad at storylines, I'm like, I didn't even see a storyline. I just seen two guys punching each other. I'm down with it.
Right. I didn't even see a story. Stories in wrestling. What the fuck are you talking about?
Speaking of which, I've been watching Glow, and that shit's so good, man.
Yo,
It's
that's
so
part of the
good.
reason why I started getting back into pro wrestling was that show. Swear to God, true story. I love it. Love
It's
that
good
show.
stuff, man. Spoiler ahead: Ruth just got her ankle broke, and
Yeah.
the next episode.
Yeah.
So speaking of broken things, next we have a broken tibia. Was it that Britt Baker?
I think that's
got?
what she said.
Britt Baker comes out and gives us her rules of being a role model. Rule number 3: don't hurt the role model. This is legit, and like what she brought tonight was fire.
Oh my God. Best promo that I've seen her do since she's been in AEW, probably. It was so good.
I didn't like her being a heel. She had to learn how to be one, and I think she did. Like what she brought tonight
yeah,
was so good. She says it's all a conspiracy theory as to why her knee got broken. And she brings legit arguments.
I know.
She says Chris Statlander being an alien is a crock of shit. Conspiracy.
I was waiting for somebody to call her out on that, honestly. Like, I was just waiting.
She says Sheeta broke her nose and is a fake champ. Conspiracy. She says Nyla Rose can jump with precision but couldn't move out of the way of her leg. Conspiracy.
I know.
And
So
then she
good.
brings out a board with a yarn spider web pointing at everybody and calls out Aubrey the referee for being there every time she got hurt. Conspiracy.
Oh, yeah. I loved every second of this.
Oh.
I loved every second of this.
At least Aubrey at the end was perfect. She's the most popular female in AEW. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes.
Probably. You're probably right.
I couldn't tell you any of the other officials. I couldn't. Aubrey, I know who Aubrey is. I don't know who the other guys are. I do know the guy that screams really loud. He's like, "What?" I know him, but I don't
Yeah,
know
he's
who
awesome. He's
I don't
so
know.
animated.
So Britt tells us she'll be back at All Out.
Yeah.
Excellent promo. Excellent.
Yes.
Who was that lady she was with? Is that her stylist that she introduced at the dentist office?
We've seen her before. Like, I think she's the head like makeup stylist for the stars in the back.
Uh-oh.
She she's like I've seen her like in backstage videos before. So yeah, she has a reason to be there.
Make Britt Baker.
Yeah, I was
look
gonna
even
ask
better.
you guys. Honestly. I had no idea who she was. But I love when.
I do remember seeing her on the promo that Britt did, like the rule number 1 when they were at the dentist office.
Oh, okay.
I think she told
okay.
Britt, "Let's go. We got to do your makeup." Or
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, my favorite part of the whole goddamn promo though was when she was when they pushed her away on the fucking wheelchair and it said role model on the back of it, but it was spelled ROLL. It was so good.
she's definitely growing on me. She's definitely
Yeah.
growing. At first, I didn't like it, but at first she kept like dissing Shivani. Like she dissed Tony Schiavone for working at Starbucks. Don't diss somebody for their job. I think that's part of the reason that like
that was my favorite part of the whole promo.
I didn't like it, but I've never
and all that. Like,
I've never looked down at people for what they do for a living. If you're making money, you're making money. I took that one kind of personal. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
She's a heel though. Like that's what she's supposed to do. Like if you go back, and I actually have a note about this. If you go back and you look at The Rock during his build, and he was a heel, one of the things that got him over most was absolutely tearing into Michael Cole.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He would take Michael Cole's hat, like put it on his head and flip him around and tell him not to look at him when he's interviewing him. Like it was money. And that's what her, like Britt and Shivani have going on. So personally, I think that's the best thing for her. Like her mic skills for me are still subpar. This was her best promo, no doubt about that. But those skills still aren't consistent, and they're not at a level where they should be, which is why she has so much stuff around her. I think Shivani's the way to go for her, though. You keep him next to her, and you keep that building on that dynamic. That's how she gets there.
Oh, for sure. They have great chemistry together, the two of them, and it's awesome to watch. And yeah, I would agree that, you know, her mic skills still aren't quite where they need to be, but like she's got to win an award for like most fucking improved or something though, because like she was complete garbage, you know, at first, and now it's like you're going, oh, that Britt Baker's on.
I think she was worse than Bailey, because Bailey was a bad heel. I think she was worse because Bailey was pretty bad at first.
Oh yeah,
I think Britt was definitely worse. She's moved up though. She's moved up.
Yeah.
Following this awesome promo we had a Inner Circle Pep Rally promo. The Inner Circle telling us we're going to have a prep rally later. And here comes Orange Cassidy doing what he does best. Complete comedy in the back, completely interrupting the Inner Circle by just walking back there. He didn't look at him. He didn't do anything. He was just there. And it pissed off Chris Jericho. We'll see you later, Orange, or whatever the hell he said. Which they did. They did.
Yeah.
They seen it
sure
later.
Did.
After this, we had Christy James versus Hikaru Shida. Have we seen Christy yet?
I haven't.
don't remember her, but she made an impression. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, definitely. She reminded me of oh my God. Kevin, help me out. The Pokemon one that I was mad when she left.
Kaylee Ray.
Yeah, Kylie Ray. Yes. Yeah. She reminded me of Kylie Ray. She was bubbly, man. I like bubbly. I love bubbly. She's like the way she was just being bubbly when she was doing her moves, pulling her hair. Look at me, and how it was a squash match, but it wasn't. I'm okay.
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
it was competitive. That's what I really liked about it. You know,
she showed that she can do a thing, and she held up with the AEW champ. I'm okay with it.
Yep.
It was a squash, but it wasn't a squash. Give me more of that. Like when I used to bitch about the Viking Raiders, oh, this is a squash.
Oh my God!
They won in 2 seconds. At least don't make it a squash. Cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Well, they overdid the fucking squashes with the Raiders, so that was ridiculous.
Really
How many weeks in a row?
But so many.
Yeah.
Oh, so Rob, what's your take on this one?
On which squash match? The Shida match?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think squash is putting a little further. I mean, it was a pretty like telegraphed finish.
Yeah.
But she just got James with an N. Yeah, no, she just got too much offense, and for it to really be a true squash, it's something that I've heard AEW is really kind of doing right now. A lot of these enhancement talents are actually people that have really wowed them, and they're getting their contracts. So I wouldn't be surprised to see James on that list. I think that may be why she got as much offense as she did in against the champion, but ultimately it did what it was supposed to do. It got Shida in front of the crowd that loves her. We got that little celebration with her coming out and being champion, and that's really what's going to help that women's division. Is because Shida's the most popular and most organic champion they've had yet. So that's what they wanted, and that's what they got.
She's easily like the best in-ring female on the roster too, probably. You know, she's really good.
I'd have to really look, but I can't think of anyone offhand that I love her. So yeah,
that's valid. I think we covered that well. After this, we had Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring with his newly won TNT title. And this title is ugly. And this title made me think of one thing.
It's not finished yet.
AEW needs to hit up Belts by Dan.
100%.
Belts by Dan is a custom championship belt manufacturing, repair, restoration, and resale company started by the owner of BeltTalk.com. Belts by Dan offers fully custom championship title belts identical to the quality of those used on television by major boxing, MMA, and pro wrestling companies. They also offer accessories for owners of existing belts, as well as resale of already completed belts targeted at the high-end collector. If you guys want some custom belts, hit up Belts by Dan and tell them Smacked Raw Pod sent you. They do need to hit him up, though, and finish this belt.
For real.
For real. Say, Dan would have had it by now.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been this vote if they would have went to Leather by Dan first.
That's valid. I'm sure he's still working.
But, yo, I mean, have you seen the pictures of what it's supposed to look like when it's finished?
From what I heard, those were fan rendered, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I guess fuck those pictures then. I don't know. Because I thought I
sent it to the chat, and them guys jumped on me. I was like, okay. Okay.
Jesus. And they get mad at me for calling them haters and stuff. Jesus Christ.
Kyle was getting on Vince tonight, man. And Vince was.
Oh, my. That was vicious. Jesus.
Oh, poor Lucha Bros.
I don't even think necessarily wrong about that, but it was like, anyway.
I enjoy our chat room.
Yes.
So Cody Rhodes is in the ring dropping a promo. He mentions, why is Tom Brady his favorite quarterback? And I instantly said he shouldn't be because he's Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't picked first, just like Cody Rhodes. And he was saying that Tony Khan wanted to have the best wrestling promotion in the world, which means he wanted to call up the best wrestlers in the world, and Cody wasn't called first. Cody wasn't called second. Cody wasn't called third because Cody is not the best in the world, but what they have, they make it work. Cody may not be the best, but he will beat you in racing and running, and he'll beat you up, and he will retain his title. This is a great promo.
Yeah.
It was a very good promo.
For sure.
I mean, Cody's proven that he has an excellence in that arena and promos in AEW. I mean, that's why he is the face of AEW. So,
sure.
It's exactly what we expected. I think it's pretty cool, the whole open challenge. It does look like we're going to be getting a weekly TNT championship challenge, which is really cool. I think that's kind of a cool thing to do with that belt, especially since the matches are on TNT. So, really anxious to see where they go with that. I mean, but as always, Cody was money on the mic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's probably the best at cutting promos in the AEW.
Nah, Chris Jericho.
Stop it. Well, yeah, you're right.
A bad idea.
Never mind. I'll take that
creative or stupid idea from bad creative.
Yeah, that was the best line ever.
I popped for that. I'll always remember that.
I probably woke up my neighbors. I yelled so fucking loud when he said that. That was incredible.
One thing that bugs me about Cody is that damn neck tattoo, though, man. Like, do you?
I know.
And I'm not making fun of you, but I didn't hear half your words because I was looking at how hideous your neck is, man. Like, it's
bad.
It's bad.
That is bad.
But I mean, do you, boo boo? That's cool.
No, I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, I love Cody to death. I've been a Cody Rhodes fan since he was still using this silver spoon DDT as a finisher. And God, that neck tattoo, dude.
Yeah, that's.
At least it's colorful. If it's gonna be loud,
at least he draws as much attention to it as he possibly can.
If you're gonna do it. Next, he's gonna have a Tyson tattoo right above it on his face.
Yeah, I hear you. He definitely owns it. Like he's about it,
So following this promo, we had something that doesn't really make sense. Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc versus SCU. And the winner of this match gets a title shot against cowboy shit doing Adam Page and his homeboy Kenny Omega next week on Dynamite. 4 days after my homeboys, the best friends, win a number one contenders match. But they got to wait all the way till Fyter Fest to get their shot. I don't get it. I don't get it.
They get the bigger stage, man. That's
cool.
all.
That's cool and all. But I just don't. I mean, it has nothing to do with the best friends. It has to do with where did this come from? Like, I don't know. I think now that I think
pro wrestling,
AEW is doing bad things to me. I used to not care about shit like this.
now that I think about AEW is doing bad things.
Now I care about shit like this. So, but
it's a toxic relationship with AEW.
Yeah,
That's what...
maybe because I care. WWE, I don't give a shit, but AEW, I care. I don't know.
There's still hope.
Yeah, right.
It's valid. They haven't ruined it yet. They did mention right off rip, JR mentioned to probably for people like me and Seb in the chat that instantly asked what the hell is going on. Best friends get their shot at Fyter Fest, which is cool. They get the bigger stage. They're going to win it, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm going to pop, and I'm going to videotape it, and it's going to be on the podcast as a clip, me popping because the best friends win the titles.
You know, here's the one thing I can think, man, from a booking standpoint that maybe why they're thinking that is that maybe Kenny Omega and Adam Page are going to drop the titles next week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's been rumors that Page is going to turn on Omega forever now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the time. Maybe that's what they're thinking, you know? I don't know. Just a thought. So that way, like, you know, at Fyter Fest, it's going to be a legit match. I don't know, you know?
I mean, it could be. It could be.
Probably not next week, though, because of who actually won this match. That and Jimmy Havoc. I don't see them dropping the belts to them, you know, right as they're being tag team. But no, it's very valid. I think that they could drop the belts. And as far as best friends go, I'd still rather be them than the people that are getting throwaway shots. I mean, they get a storyline and they get that big pay-per-view match, and they're gonna get the belts. So just hang out until it happens.
Yeah.
I need to make my shirt best friends for AEW Tag Champs 2020.
Yes.
So this was actually a fast-paced and enjoyable match. Tags were going in and out. Teamwork was happening. Nothing super notable. It was a good match. To end it, SCU was about to pull off their finisher, but Penelope Ford grabbed Kazarian's foot, and Kazarian was flipped out, and Sabian and Havoc ended up flipping it into their finisher for the win. So as Rob just mentioned, we have Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc against the tag team champs next week. That doesn't really make too much sense, so our homeboys are probably going to retain their titles. Especially the fact that they haven't been around due to what's going on in the world, and they're not going to lose the titles on their return match. They're going to have them come out like fire, and they're going to whoop their asses, and they're going to pop, and Adam Page is going to start doing cowboy shit again, and we're going to be excited about tag titles again.
Yeah, I agree, especially with like the storyline that came out of Double or Nothing, how, you know, Omega and Page kind of made up and stuff like that. I mean, I was going out on a limb on my fantasy booking there. I didn't think that shit was going to happen. But like, you know, I mean, I think that they're building that relationship is kind of on the mend, you know. But who knows, you know? Shit, what was I going to say? Oh, it was a perfect heel way for Havoc and Sabian to win, though, too, with Ford doing that shit at the end. I like that a lot, you know. Even if they don't deserve a shot at the titles, that was a fucking cool spot at the end. I like that.
I like the fact that they've made it so that, like, Kip Sabian can't win without Penelope Ford.
Yes.
Like, he keeps winning, and it keeps being because of her, which is cool. Now it seems like if she doesn't interfere and he wins, it'd be kind of weird. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's me, though. That's just me. Rob, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best role for Ford right now. I mean, we saw at that Double or Nothing that she's not really ready for that single spotlight. I think she'll get there. I mean, there's a lot to really like about her. So, right now that's where she should be. Like, and Kip Sabian, dude, as much as he can work, and the dude can work, he is a workhorse. He just doesn't have a personality outside of Penelope Ford. At least we haven't seen it yet. So right now that needs to be a package. But more than that, I want to talk. I do think there's a future for that tag team. While they're not winning the belts next week, Havoc and Sabian do have some chemistry, and in that match it showed. Their finish, which I loved, was a mule kick into a Michinoku driver. perfect. Two moves that are overused and like, you know, not given credit for how strong they should be put together. Like, it was killer. So I'll take that. More on the other side of things though, SCU, like, it is obvious that there is something coming for that group.
Yes.
They are being buried, and they're being buried hard. So if it's a breakup of the group or a heel turn, like, we don't know yet. Personally, I'm hoping that they do break up and Scorpio Sky gets a singles run, much like Greta. There's a lot of potential there, and now that he has that exposure with the crowd, because he doesn't really exude charisma all that much unless it's a taped promo, you know. So, you know, cool stuff as far as that new tag team. But I do just want to point out, I think SCU is heading towards like a crossroads.
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I think they more, I mean, not that the seeds were planted before, but like certainly with the start of the ladder match at Double or Nothing, I think that was very telling that something is brewing for them, you know.
Definitely good words. I personally didn't see a bury for SCU, but now that you say it, it makes sense. But again, I mentioned it a couple times. I don't pay attention to things. So, I mean, I take the match for what it is. SCU got whomped, and next week they're going to be back out there trying their hardest.
I'm on the opposite end of that, man. That's all I look at.
Maybe I constantly say it, though. Maybe that's why I'm so happy with everything, because I don't fucking care. I don't overanalyze it. And what's funny is when I tweeted last week that Brian Cage winning was bullshit, I have a real life friend named Wally who's a big wrestling fan. He commented, he's like, "It's logic. Don't look too hard into it." I'm like, you of all people gonna tell me not to look into something? The first time I did ever. You're gonna call me out on it.
It is true. It probably was the first time ever.
Yes. I don't think of things like that, and it made me mad. Okay. So, following this odd tag team, MJF cuts a promo saying that he's undefeated. He's 82-0 in 2020. Not really 82-0, but whatever his record is. Like
pretty much.
Yeah.
And he has not got a title shot. And another thing that I kind of looked into is you're going after the TNT title. You should be going after the big one. But that's cool. You know, the title that should be replaced by Belts by Dan. He's going after this one. And Wardlow tries talking, and MJF shuts him up. And Wardlow gets mad.
Yeah.
And then in the Battle Royal coming up, there's actually a spot that leans more towards Wardlow and MJF splitting up. I think Wardlow's going to womp on MJF, and I'm going to enjoy
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
I thought it might even happen tonight, honestly. Like, with the shit that happened, like, I was waiting for it, you know?
Did they plant any seeds like that before tonight?
Not that I'm aware of.
Notice? Okay.
No, they it's a pretty similar storyline to what MJF did in MLW, because he was in a group and they were put in that match kind of similarly, but that was the real like hint, was at the MJF promo basically ordering Wardlow to eliminate himself once they're down to 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's stuff coming there. I still think it's a ways away. Like, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, more because Wardlow doesn't have legs of his own yet. They're coming, and he's getting more exposure, and he's looking very strong, but he's not there yet. Real quick, as far as MJF not being in the world title picture, MJF doesn't need a belt. He doesn't need the belt. He doesn't need the TNT championship. He doesn't need any of it. Like, the dude is over, and as over as anyone in the world, and he's doing it without a title. So
yeah, I know.
Something changes, dude. I don't need to see him on the belt.
That's valid. All he needs is this awesome class ring that he's got, punching in the face with it.
All he needs is the microphone, man.
Yeah, for real.
Valid. So, following this awesome promo, we have a Battle Royal. Winner gets a shot at the TNT title. There was a lot of people in this match. Just off note, MJF, Orange Cassidy, Billy Gunn, Luchasaurus, and I literally typed, I'm not naming the rest, because there was a lot of people in the ring. And there was so many people.
There were a lot of people.
The bell rings, and Orange Cassidy is still coming out, doing what he does best. Just, I don't care. I'll go when I want to go out there. He gets leveled by Santana and Ortiz because of what happened earlier, showing up at Inner Circle's little promo. JR mentions during the match, what if Marco Stunt wins this match? I would have fired JR on the spot. Don't you even think that? No. Rob, in case you don't know, I absolutely hate Marco Stunt, and no, get him out of the ring. I can't even kayfabe his little ass. I love Marco.
I love Marco Stunt. I just think they're using him wrong. That dude should be getting consistent matches. No jury. He can do a lot, but you shouldn't be putting them in there week after week with guys.
No way. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. Yeah,
you know what though?
Man.
I almost think it would be funny just to troll the NXT guys on Smack Raw if fucking Marco Stunt got a fucking title shot. Could you imagine like Vince's head and RN's head and Seth's head? Oh my God. They would we would hear the explosion wherever the hell you were, or how much those dudes would just lose their shit. It'd be great.
That's one thing, dude. I'm more thinking about guys like Cornette, man. Imagine how a Cornette.
Oh my God.
Stunt in a title match.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that you're right. That would be worse. He'd be like a goddamn nuclear bomb going off. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. Oh no, a couple things, if I may, about that match. I just want to point out that the guys they highlighted, sit down. Obviously, who ended up winning, that was Jungle Boy. After that stellar showing at Double or Nothing, he is going to be the first weekly TNT Championship contender. But more than that, MJF, Wardlow, Orange Cassidy, and Luchasaurus, they were all protected, worked really strong in that Battle Royale match. So just wanted to point that out. It was a exercise in chaos for the first half, but once it kind of thinned out, you could really see, who they wanted to feature and who they wanted to make look good. And I just wanted again to run that down. That's Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Wardlow, MJF, and Orange Cassidy.
Oh yeah, that freaking chokeslam elimination that Luchasaurus had on Luther, I believe it was. That was so sick. Oh my God.
I cringe. Luther's almost 300 pounds. That's a scary bump for him to take, but the dude took it well, so I'll give him that. I just, not every week, man.
No, that was a big spot. That was Jesus.
Clicked the wrong window. I enjoyed this match, though. I did enjoy this match, and like you said, Jungle Boy did end up winning it. I'm just glad it wasn't Marco Stunt.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna go Jurassic Express, go Jungle Boy. It would have been nice for Luchasaurus too, though. I mean, my man's putting in work.
He is. He's still fun. He's too unpolished and too inconsistent as a singles guy right now. But 6 months from now, I don't think there's gonna be anyone better in the company.
I do got a plug though when he was like, "What? You think I was gonna sound like a dinosaur?"
Oh Jesus, that was one of the best promos ever. That was so good.
So following this match, we had our main event, the Inner Circle Pep Rally. They came out with little plastic trophies and boxes with gifts in them. And who was better to introduce them? None other than Vicky Guerrero.
Oh my God.
What makes this even greater on my end is like my daughter wasn't really watching. And she came in just as this was coming out, and she's like, "Who is this lady? She's got an annoying voice." I died. I'm like, "Oh my God." So I kind of explained to her that that's her role. That's been her thing for years. She's annoying, and she does it so well. She does it better than anybody else in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there are very few people that could pull off that Vicky Guerrero type of heat. But
yes.
Jesus. She was Karen before Karen was Karen.
That's valid. Oh my God.
Although I do want to point out that I was extremely entertained by the fact that she does not have rights to her other company catchphrase, and so she had to change it in AEW.
What was the WWE one? I don't even remember.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
In AEW, she says, "Are you kidding me?" But in the same thing. So yeah, just like we won't get into it, but that new tag team that showed up.
Yeah. and Dean Ambrose. Yeah.
So this promo was great. Jericho's throwing out champion shirts. I have it in my notes right here. Kev, you said it earlier. I'd buy one.
In a heartbeat.
Sammy Guevara got everybody a participation trophy because they tried. And the trophy says best dad jokes.
I know.
There's a pandemic going on. It's hard to get trophies. Take what you got.
Yeah, so good.
Santana got Ortiz chopped cheese. Got Guevara Vicks Vapor Rub. Big ass Jack Hager. Big ass fake Timbos. And he got Jericho a Mark Anthony picture.
Mark Anthony. What the fuck was that all about? Jericho sold it so well too.
He's my hero. So Jericho got Sammy Guevara a knee scooter, and he got Ortiz noise canceling headphones.
Awesome.
Jack Hager writes a poem. I don't even remember what he said, but it was absolutely hilarious. Jericho then says he wants Tyson's head on a platter because he hasn't forgotten about 2020. Guevara gives Jericho a half-eaten cheese platter. Jericho asks, "What's wrong with this platter? Where's the bubbly?" Boom. Mike Tyson's music hits, and he's with Kyle. Told me who these guys were. I have no idea. Henry Cejudo and Vitor Belfort, former UFC champs. That's who he was with? I have no idea.
I think it's just supposed to be his entourage, like when he used to come into boxing matches.
Yeah.
I seriously don't think those guys are really going to be playing much of a role. So.
Right.
No. But
I just want to make sure that they're a thing and they're not just random guys. I want to.
Yeah, two of those dudes were like legitimate like UFC champs at one point.
Yeah, they're just definitely just there for fluff to make Tyson.
Yeah, but it's cool that they were UFC champs.
Yeah,
that's all basically.
So Tyson talks shit to Jericho. Jericho talks shit to Tyson, and all hell breaks loose. Everybody in the building was fighting each other, and that is how our Dynamite ended. Jericho and Tyson are going somewhere, and I'm about it.
Yeah.
I'm so about it. I love Chris Jericho, but I'm all about him taking a Tyson right hook. I'm so ready to see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought in 2020, that somebody could sell a Jericho Tyson fucking pro wrestling match, but here we are, and I'm ready for it. You know what I mean? And if the start of the build is any indication of how good the match is going to be, give it to me. I mean, like, I don't know how good it'll really be, but it looks cool right now, so.
They're definitely fluffing it up. I'm ready for it. What about you, Rob? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the actual physical confrontation.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
So,
Party poopers.
The build will be cool. It is going to bring eyes. It is. I don't know, man. I'm not sure where it goes other than ratings, like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
It seems like it went off, which is cool. I just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm taking it at face value, but the promo itself, that's kind of what I'm talking about, because that promo, and then combined with the one they had at the very beginning of the show where they showed the shirts in the back of the truck, really did wonders for PNP's personality. Like, they seemed like really one-dimensional characters for so long. Street thugs and all that. But, I mean, they're really starting to kind of show some depth there, which is really cool. So that's something that I want to keep an eye out. Like, once, say, Best Friends does pick up that title, that's what I'd run. Best Friends, PNP.
Hell yeah.
Like, they're like, so, yeah, just wanted to point it out there. PNP is starting to get that kind of, like, tweener, hey, I'm funny type of segments. So keep an eye on them. If it continues the way they're going, then they're positioned very, very well once the Elite finally get off the belts.
Yes. Very, very valid. Very valid. And I'm into it. I didn't even think about that, to be honest with you. But that's,
That's why I'm here, man.
Yep. I was just going to say, thank you for being on the show. You brought that light. Like, this guy reminds me of Seb, man. Like,
right.
This is logic and this is why. And we're just like, best friends going to win the titles. Yeah.
We're just like, pro wrestling fucking rules.
So, yes, for real. Thank you for being on the show. You did make it interesting. Made me
No,
think
dude.
about a couple
Yeah.
things that I would never in a million years think of. Here, me and Kevin are like, yeah, Tyson's going to whoop Jericho's ass. And you're like, no, they ain't going to do nothing. And
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
Okay.
They're a couple of old men. Like, calm down.
Well, let me just say this real quick. As old as he is, I'm still probably more scared of Mike Tyson than I am of Tyson Fury. So
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Tyson looks fucking jacked right now
Yeah,
for
he
his
does.
age. He looks scary for sure. So I hear you, man.
no, but let me just real quick. Thank you guys for having me. It was honestly so much fun. I've been itching to really get back into a podcast here. So while mine's down, thanks for having me. Hopefully we can make this a little more consistent.
Sure.
Just want to drop my handles. I am Rob Lopaki. You can get at me on Twitter. It's at ROBLOPAKI. The podcast is at Botched_finish. Again, my pod's down right now due to COVID, but I am keeping a blog. So check out the Botched Finish blog. You'll find the link there. And once again, guys, dude, thanks for having me here on the Smack Raw podcast.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you.
Thank you guys for listening. And always remember, best friends for AEW Tag Champs 2020.